Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you are doing well. In this tutorial, I will show you how I unwrapped these objects, and this is the result. You can see on the left side. I am quite happy with the result. By the way, some of you guys were asking about this UV texture. I'm gonna put this one on my Twitter post of this tutorial so you can get it from there. Also, this tutorial is gonna be the last tutorial of the year, so I wish everyone a great, happy, and most importantly, a healthy year. Now, let's get into the tutorial. Before getting into the tutorial, I should mention that I assigned some shortcuts to the component selections. So that's why you will see me switching between these modes quickly. So if I grab this object and if I hit 3, I will be in polygon mode. If I hit 2, I will be in edge mode. If I hit 1, I will be in points mode. And finally, if I hit 4, I will be in model mode. I highly suggest you assign these shortcuts because it's gonna make your workflow much effective and most importantly faster. Now let me switch to the UV layout. I will solid this object. I will only unwrap this object as it is the most complex one, as you can tell. Now I want to start off with the easiest polygons or UVs, and these are gonna be these flat surfaces or polygon islands. To select them, I have a great tool which is called font break selection. So, by the way, let me make this window a little bit larger. I'm gonna hit V, then I will go to select, then I will grab font break selection. This tool will basically select polygons based on that angle, and that angle will be enough to select these kind of flat surfaces. So I will select these polygons. Then all I need to do is click on UV unwrap. It's gonna be that easy. As soon as I unwrap these kind of polygons or UVs, I will hide them. So we select and hide selected so that it is gonna be a little bit easier to see what is left or not. While we are in the font break selection tool, let's come over here and select these top polygons. Again, I will click on UV unwrap and then hit V, select and hide selected. We can select these polygons as well because these are flat. Click on UV unwrap, V, select and hide selected. Let's try to find this kind of polygons, so like these ones. UV unwrap, V, select and hide selected. Same here. UV unwrap, V, select and hide selected. Let's see if we have this kind of polygons. Yeah, these ones, for example. These are going to be quite easy. Select them and click on UV unwrap. Then we select and hide selected. I can also grab these polygons as well because these are quite flat. Then click on UV unwrap. Sometimes the orientation of these UV islands will be a little off, so I will need to select a straight edge and then click on align UV islands. Now I'm going to hit V, select and click on hide selected. I will select my font break selection again and select these polygons. Then click on UV unwrap. We select hide selected. Now I want to select these leftover polygons over here. But font break selection tool is not going to be able to do that because this is working based on that angle. So I will make an edge selection so that I will have these borders, which means that I can make a field selection. We select and field selection and select that polygon islands. Then you know what to do. Click on UV unwrap and that's going to be it. We select and hide selected. I will do the same. Edge mode. Double click on that edge loop. It should be a perfect boundary loop so that I could make a field selection. UNF, selected islands, click on UV unwrap. And let's hide these polygons. Let me find other flat surfaces like these polygon islands. Again, we select font break selection and grab these polygons, click on UV unwrap. This is a little off, so I will click on that edge and click on align UV islands. Then we can hide this polygon island again, and yeah, now it's gonna get a little bit difficult because we need to select some seams because most of the shapes are kinda cylindrical or curved, so we are gonna need seams. Let's grab that tool again, point break selection tool. I'm gonna select polygons. Since this is a cylindrical shape, we are gonna need an exit point, aka a seam. So I will go into edge mode, then hit E, move tool, and grab these top edges because these edges are gonna be probably the least visible edges to the camera or possible camera. Then after selecting these edges, I will open up the UV unwrap options because this time we are not in polygon mode, we are in edge mode. So I will open up these options and enable restrict to polygon selection so that only selected polygons will be unwrapped. Click on OK and we are going to have a perfect result. Select, I select it. I will go into edge mode again and let's work on that section. I will double click on these edges as seams because these are the sharpest ones. Alt and Shift, continue to select these sharp edges. Again, I am trying to make a boundary loop so that I could make a field selection easily. Let's try it, UNF, or if you don't know the shortcuts, you can hit V, select, and come over here and select the field selection. And click on that polygon island. As long as you make a good boundary selection, you will be able to select this kind of polygons easily. Okay, now let's click on UV Unwrap. Okay, now the result is a little bit weird, I know, but this is quite natural if you look at the shape. So in order to make this a little bit straight, I will use pins, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So first thing first, let's go into edge mode. I will first look at the 3D view and find the straight edges, these ones. These edges will be also highlighted in the 2D view, so you don't need to select them again. Then I want to make these edges as straight as possible, so I will click on Align UV Islands. UV Straighten. After that, I will hold down Control and click on Points mode, which will convert these edges into points. Then I will click on Add UV Pins. Now these points will turn into red dots, as you can see, which means that these points will stay the same whatever I do to these polygons. I will go into polygon mode, relax UV, enable use UV pins. Otherwise, these pins won't work. Then click on apply. Let me make this window larger so that you can see what's going to happen. And here we go. Now I will come over here and open up the UV map because I want to see if we are having any kind of distortion on the surface. To see it a little bit better, I will scale this up. And I will orbit around the mesh. And yeah, this is looking perfect. No significant distortion. Let's clear the pins. I will remove that texture and hide these polygons. I will go back to the edge mode. Again, I want to make a boundary selection. So double click on these sharp edges. Alt and Shift. Double click. I need to deselect this one and include this one. Okay, because again, I am trying to make a boundary selection because I will apply a field selection on these polygons. If an edge is missing, it's not going to work. Right? We go to select and select the selection. This tool is going to select the whole shape. So that edge is quite important. Now let's make a field selection. Now I will be able to select that polygon island. Now let's click on UV Unwrap. I will rotate this. In order to rotate this, we have two options. One is the rotate tool, hit R and rotate this area, but I prefer the transform. I will come over here and type in 90 and click on apply. It's going to be much easier. After doing that, as you can see, the right side is larger than the left side, but this is not the case if you look at the 3D view. So we need to relax this out without using the pins. So first, let's come over here and click on apply. It is not important if this is enabled or disabled because we don't have any pins yet. So I will click on apply and this is going to even out the surface. Now we can grab these straight edges. I will double click on that edge loop and click on UV straighten. Hold down Control to convert these into points. Then click on add UV pins. Now I will go back to polygon mode because I want to relax out only these polygons. Then click on apply. And that's it. Let's open up the UV map. I will make this a little bit larger and here we go. Perfect result. We select, hide selected. Let's turn this off. Now let me select back this funk break selection tool because we have still these kind of flat surfaces. So grab this tool and go into polygon modes, hold down shift and select these polygons. Then click on UV unwrap. We select and hide selected. Now let's work on this kind of cylindrical shapes. As I told you, in order to unwrap them properly, we are going to need seams. And let me first make fill selections, hold down shift and grab these polygons because I want to unwrap these only. Then I will go into edge mode and select these edges as seams. Then come over here and click on UV unwrap. Obviously, we need to rotate them. So click on that edge or that one, then click on align UV islands. Same here. Okay, I will go back to polygon mode. We select and hide select. Now I will go back to edge mode again and I will, let me see which edge loop is the sharpest one. It looks like these ones. So I will double click on that edge loop. That perfect edge loop will stop at this kind of pulse. So after that point, I need to select these points manually. So I'm going to hold down shift and select these edges. Same here. Again, I am trying to make a boundary selection so that I could make a fill selection easily. ENF, select that polygon island. I just noticed that we have these polygons, these sections, and these edges are quite sharp. So I will double click on these edges, hold down shift. Then I will make a fill selection. Perfect. This time we don't need to select any seams because that polygon selection has natural seams because of these sharp edges. So I'm going to unwrap this in polygon mode and click on UV unwrap. All right, looks perfect. I will just grab that edge and click on align UV islands. We select and hide selected. Now let me quickly grab these polygons with the fill selection tool because there aren't any polygons near. So that's why fill selection is going to be able to select these easily. I will go back to the edge mode, double click on these edges because these are going to be the seams. These are quite sharp. Then I will click on UV unwrap. Now let's align these islands. Go back to polygon mode and hide them. Now let's get rid of that part, that sticking out part. Double click on these edges. Again, as you can see, I'm trying to select these sharp edges as seams. Okay, now I will make a fill selection, UNF. Then I will hit V. This time I will use a new tool which is called Grow Selection to select all these polygons. Then I will go back to edge mode and click on UV unwrap. I'm gonna rotate this just a little bit, or you can grab that edge and click on align UV island. Same here. I will pack them anyway, so you don't need to, get them closer. I will do that later. So select these polygons, hide them. Now let me see. Yeah, let's double click on that edge loop. This time, this is a perfect one, so I should make a fill selection easily. UNF. Again, this selection has its natural seams, these edges. So I can unwrap them in polygon mode, click on UV unwrap, and that's gonna be it. We select hide selected. Now let me grab that edge loop, then field selection. This time we need to select a seam. Again, we can select the top edge, then click on UV unwrap. And here we go. Select, hide selected. I will double click on that edge loop, then make another field selection. This is a cylindrical shape again, so I should select some edges as seams, then click on UV unwrap. Sometimes your UVs will look like that. The end parts will look a little weird. So if you come across something like that, you can click on UV rectangularize. It's gonna try to make these UVs as straight as possible. Then you can click on relax. And that's gonna be it. We select, hide selected. Now I will go into edge mode again, select these sharp edges, field selection, click on UV unwrap. This time we don't need any seams because this is a flat surface. It doesn't need any seam because it could be projected easily. So I will click on UV unwrap, then hide it. I will make a font break selection to select these and click on UV unwrap, hide, and this time I will need a seam. Select that edge. Okay, click on UV unwrap, click on UV rectangularize, and relax them. Okay, let's say goodbye to that selection. Okay, now let me grab that edge loop. Okay, this is a perfect edge selection, so I should be able to make a field selection easily. Nice. Again, this is a cylindrical shape, which means it needs an exit point, aka a seam. I suppose this part is going to be the least visible part of the mesh to the camera. So I'm going to select these edges, then click on UV unwrap. This is a little bit distorted or wavy, as you can tell. So first, let me rotate this around into the correct orientation. Then I will find the straight edges like these ones. Then I will go back to the 2D view and click on UV straighten. Then you know the process, hold down Control, click on points mode, add UV pins, go back to polygon mode, relax UV, enable this option and click on apply. And it's that easy. Let's check the UVs. And yeah, nice and solid result. I'm gonna hide these. Let me clear these pins. Now I will make another loop selection. Or you can go into polygon mode and make font break selection. Sometimes I forget to, use that selection. Sometimes it is more handy and faster than making edge selections and field selections. Anyway, let's grab these polygons. That selection or these polygons look like a cylindrical shape, but I believe these polygons could be projected. Like I could be able to flatten out this in 3D view, so which means that I can do the same in 2D view. So I will try to project these polygons. Let me go to the right view, then hit S to zoom in. Then I will come over here, projection tab, and click on frontal. That method has a downside, which is a little bit distortion. If I hit enable UV map and make this one larger, we are gonna get a little bit distortion, and that happened because of the projection. Like if I try to scale this to 0, you're gonna see that we are not gonna get any kind of distortion. So in order to compensate, select, say, the inner circle, inner edge loop. Then I will hold down Control to convert these into points, then add UV pins. Then I will go back to polygon mode and click on relax UV. Now you can see the amount of distortion. Now it should be much better. Let's hide these polygons. We select hide. We have a similar shape over here. So let me turn this off. and make a fill selection. At first glance, this looks like a cylindrical shape. Yeah, I know, but because of the angles of these edges and polygons, this could be easily projected. Again, as I showed you, this could be scaled down to 0, like this one. So I will go to the top view, hit S, then click on projection. Again, let's select these edges, convert these into points, add UV pins, and relax them. Okay, this time we have a greater amount of distortion, as you can tell. I'm going to hide these again, selection, hide selected. Now we have a cylindrical shape. For example, this time, it is not going to be possible to, convert this 3D shape into 2D without any seams. We are not going to do that with a projection. Like if I want to project this on the X, as you can see, I lost all the information. And if I want to project these on the Y-axis, it's going to be the same. These are going to overlap. So that's why we need seams. You can imagine the process as if you are trying to unwrap a teacup. Well, in order to flatten out this cup, you need to cut through, right? Well, this is the same. I will select that edge, or let's select this one as well. I will select these polygons, go back to edge mode, and click on UV unwrap. Nice. Let's select that edge or edge loop, then click on align UV islands. Let's hide this, select, hide selected. Now let's grab these edges, Alt and Shift. Okay, now let's make a fit selection. I can project this again. So I will go to the front view this time, hit S, projection, and frontal. I'm going to select that inner circle, turn them into points, add UV pins, and relax them. Okay, let's hide this selection, hide selected. Okay, this is going to be the last one. So double click on that edge loop and below of that edge loop, then make a fill selection. Again, I can project this. So let's go to the front view, projection, and use these selected edges as pins. I will convert these into points, add UV pins, and relax them out. Nice. We select and hide selected. Now I will apply a different technique to these polygons because we have lots of details in that shape and it is a cylindrical one, which will make it even harder to unwrap these kind of shapes. So whenever I come across this kind of cylinders with lots of details in it, I usually use interactive mapping. Change this projection type to cylindrical, as you can guess. Now I will move that around or scale it up. Okay, now let's go to the top view. Okay, that should cover the whole shape. So check out the other panels. Then I can stop interactive mapping. Obviously, this is stretched along the y-axis, as you can see. So I will open up this UV map. And as you can tell, this is quite distorted. So in order to fix that, I will right click and click on UV transform. By the way, let me clear out these pins. Then move your mouse on that dot and then you should see that scale icon. Then start to scale your mesh. Then hold down shift and move that dot down. By the way, keep an eye on the 3D view. Okay, something like that. I will make these islands a little bit larger so that I can see it a little bit better. I am basically checking out these boxes, letters, numbers. I want these as square as possible. Sometimes it is quite hard to, see, but I assume this is looking quite nice. Maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I think we are done. I'm gonna hit E Then we can turn this off. Now let's unhide everything. This is the most satisfying parts. Select and show all. Obviously, these are gonna all overlap. I need to pack them, and it is quite easy to do. I'm gonna hit Ctrl A to select all these polygons. Then I will come over to the UV packing tab. I will select the geometric one, and I will turn off preserve orientation. I will enable equalize island size and click on apply. And here we go. It is that easy. Now the next step is going to be about orientation of these UVs. So let me open up this UV map. This is going to be only important if you are going to work in, say, Photoshop, because aligning these will make the process quite faster or easier in Photoshop. But let's say that if you are going to work in Substance Painter, the alignments of these polygons will not matter. I want to show you anyway how to, correct these alignments. For example, I will click on that polygon so that I can see which polygon island or UV island that polygon is in. Then after finding out that island, I'm going to double click on it, go to transform and rotate these around until I get a proper orientation. Yeah, just like this one. Same here, I will select that polygon, then I will come over to the 2D view and hit S to zoom in, then double click on that island, transform and rotate this around. Yeah. Same process, hit S, zoom in, double click and rotate this around. Yeah. Then let me see. I will select that one, hit S, double click, rotate this. Same here, hit S, double click and rotate it. Okay, that's it basically. Now I will pack them one more time, but this time after selecting all these polygons, I will come over here and enable preserve orientation because we rotated some of them and I want to keep that orientation. Then let's click on apply and here we go. Let's turn this off for a few seconds. As you can tell, we are wasting a big amount of space in this 2D view. So in order to make it more efficient, I will double click on these circles. I will move them away. Then I will select all these polygons or UVs with rectangle selection tool so that I can invert the selection. And I will pack them one more time. Now I will fit these circles. Okay. The more visible ones to the possible camera should have larger space. So let me double click on this one. Yes, this is going to be very visible. This one as well. This one as well. This one as well. So this one, for example, it's not going to be that visible. So it could be the smallest one. Same here, I guess. Yeah. And we have that selection. Which one is that? Okay. This is going to be quite visible. So I'm going to move these out. Scale that up. Then I will select this back. Okay. Now I will Alt Shift, select all of these, and I will find a place for these polygons. I think I can move them out and select this back. Okay, now let's find enough room for these polygons. I think we can rotate this, transform, rotate, and fit it here. I will just scale it down just a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be a big problem. Same here. Transform and scale it down. And here we go. Now, as a last touch, let me come over to the view and enable distortion. And let's remove these seams. This is looking quite nice. These have a little bit distortion, and I believe that happened because of the scale we applied on these polygons, just like this one. Since these are flat, it's not going to be a problem because flat surfaces are quite forgiving when it comes to distortions. These one are looking perfect. I am really happy with the results. Before wrapping up the tutorial, I will show you one last thing, and it's going to be about these kind of small polygon islands. As you can tell, we have plenty amount of room over here, so we can move them out and make them larger. As I said, we have enough room for this kind of small UV islands. Let me select multicolor islands. I usually try to keep these polygon sizes proportional to the real polygon sizes as much as possible. I don't want to waste this kind of empty spaces. For example, this could go somewhere here. Then maybe I can move it here or move it here and make it larger. It is up to you. Like we can move these guys over here, make them a little bit larger, then move it here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I think we can finish up the tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, just let me know and I will see you in the next one. Bye and have a perfect year.